Hello Fada, accent on the Irish language, basic notes and background for the curious, with session leader Renata Henley. From the Hedge School at the Irish Roots Cafe. More courses and information found at www.irishroots.com.
Fáilte roa bharrá se chairde go dtí Hello Fada, Sharanata anseo.
And the words for the day are, how are you?
Conas tá tú.
Conas tatu?
Conas tá tú.
Oh, and that's how are you?
That's how are you.
Now, could you just say Conas tatu, or could you say Conas tatu Renata?
You could say Conas tá tú a Renata.
Oh, you have to put before the name.
Yeah, that's another lesson.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, because
that's right.
that's a little bit complicated. But I tell you, I am cheating.
Yes.
There are 3 ways to say how are you.
Ooh, what are the others?
Well, there's dialects in Irish.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, so we have a northern dialect, a western dialect, and a southern dialect. And the one I just gave you, Conas tá tú, is the southern dialect.
Oh, and that would be County Cork.
County Cork, County Kerry.
Okay.
And you'll hear it a lot in Dublin, Wexford, Waterford, any of the places where Cork reigns supreme.
Yeah, well, yes. Well, now how about the Eastern?
That'd be Dublin again.
Okay.
So they'd say Conas tá tú. But Dublin has an influence from all the dialects. So you'll hear all 3 dialects in Dublin.
How about the West?
The West would be Cin Chui Will Tu.
Kin Cui Will to?
Cin Chui Will Tu.
What's that second syllable in there? Cui?
Chui.
Cui. Oh, you're using the guttural sound.
I'm using that lovely sound, yes.
Oh, we need a whole section just to explain that gutter sound before we start the real classes.
My class likes to call that a soft hairball sound.
It reminds me of the German, perhaps.
It's very Germanic sounding.
Or
Yeah.
I don't know how exactly it would happen, but okay. So, and what about the Ulster, the third one, the North?
Kajamer ahahu.
Kadimer ahahu?
Kajamer
Kajamer
ahahu
ahahu?
is one way of saying it, and another way is kajamer atatu.
Kajamer atatu.
Right. Now, which one's easier for you? Kajamer ahahu, kajamer atatu.
I like the consonants. Kajamer atatu.
Oh, and I like the other. Isn't that
Well, I
funny?
like the other one sounds prettier.
Yeah.
But the repeating is very easy for me to memorize. So, but of course I have to remember my Carrie and Claire roots. So I might be a traitor
You're
to
a
me.
Conas tá tú, man.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what you
right.
are.
Conas tatu. So
Conas tá tú.
if you're flying over on Aer Lingus and there's nobody on the flight with you and you're talking to those pretty stewardesses and you want to know their name and you can't make out that name tag, why you just say Conas tatu.
Conas tá tú.
Yes. It's make a little small conversation.
That's it. Now, if someone says to you, how are you? And you answered and then said, and how are you back to them, as you would in normal, polite conversation, you can say tussa. Conas tá tussa.
Tussa meaning?
It's an emphatic form of you. How's yourself? How are you?
Oh, and how are you today?
And how are you? That's it.
Tussa.
Conas tá tussa.
Not Conas tatu tussa.
That's right. And it's not Conas tá tusa either.
Ah.
Conas tá tú and Conas tá tussa.
Conas tussa.
That's it.
Oh, good. Well, I'm wondering, back in the days when they had the real hedge schools back in Ireland, and they taught them in the beginning all in Irish, and there would have been some nice ones up there in Ulster and some nice, really good ones down in Kerry, from what I hear, that taught the Irish and the Latin and some Greek.
Very learned. Very.
It would have been, you would have had a whole different world of language mixing because there were so many dialects that I expect today have been forgotten or ameliorated, just disappeared.
I assume they fell together.
Yes.
Or disappeared entirely.
Yes.
Yeah.
But boy, what a thing that was. I would imagine for the poor scholars would graduate from one school and get a letter from their teacher to go right ahead, a pass they called it, and they'd go out throughout the country learning, being taught in different areas of the country, and they might have a hard time adjusting to another form of the Irish. Say they went from Ulster down to Cork.
Right. Well, they say that at one point you could have walked from the south point of Ireland to the north point of Ireland on the west coast and spoken Irish the whole way, and the accent would have changed so gradually that if you were working and walking you would have adapted.
It would have worked fine.
It would have worked fine.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can understand that too, because, when I go to Ireland after I've been there a few days, all of a sudden my voice starts to change. I have a lilt in my voice. I don't do it on purpose.
You've got a musical ear.
Yes, it happens.
Yeah.
And then you come back and for a few days, people think you're putting them on.
Well, I was in Ireland for 10 years and I had a very nice accent by the end of it. But anytime I got off the phone with my grandmother in rural Missouri, my partner would say, God, you sound like a hick. A hillbilly.
You can't take
Who do
the
you think
country
you
out
are?
of the girl, can you?
That's
I'm
it.
telling you. So to summarize, the word for today, or in this case, the phrase was, how are you? And the 3 ways of saying it are,
Conastatu, Ken Wiltu, Kajemara Hahu.
well, this is Mike OLaughlin at the Hedge School saying, Kanastatu.
Slonanish.
Hello, Fada is a presentation of the Irish Head School at www.irishroots.com. These introductory sessions are for those curious about the Irish language and for those considering a course of study in the future. Renata, your session leader, also offers a course of study in the Irish language and language services on a regular basis. Contact us on our webpage at irishroots.com or by mail at the Irish Roots Cafe, Box 7575, Kansas City, Missouri 64116. Leave a message on our phone recorder at 816-256-3360. Your hedge school needs your support. Sponsors and memberships are always welcome. So ends another session from the sunny side of the hedge.